Welcome back. D'Que Latino is a brand new television series based on the book Bad Hair Does Not Exist, Pelo Malo No Existe, celebrating and empowering all little girls and children of Afro descent. Let's check out this clip.
Hello, my friends. My name is Sulma Arzu-Brown, and I am the author of Bad Hair Does Not Exist, Pelo Malo No Existe. It is an honor that we present to you D'Que Latino, which is the video adaptation of my book. Please keep in mind that all of this was shot during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. So yes, all the actors that you're about to see are literally quarantined in their home. You see, as a proud Garifuna Afro-Latina immigrant woman born in Honduras and raised in the South Bronx, it was important to utilize this time to tell our own stories and own our own narrative.
Joining us now to share more about this series are Sulma Arzu-Brown, executive producer and writer, Meiling Macias-Toro, executive producer, and Link Blake, co-writer. Thank you all for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Start, Sulma, can you tell us a little bit more about the book, Bad Hair Does Not Exist, Pelo Malo No Existe?
Sure. Pelo Malo No Existe, Bad Hair Does Not Exist was actually birthed because of a situation that happened when a caregiver labeled my daughter's hair with the colloquial term bad hair or pelo malo. Did she mean it? Absolutely not. But I realized that it was a term that had to stop. So what better way than to educate our whole entire community and empower my girls and all the little girls than to give them proper vocabulary, right? Uplifting vocabulary so that we can all participate in elevating ourselves, each other, and the community that surrounds us. Vocabulary such as long, short, straight, curly. You know, those are important words, and those are definite substitutes so that we never have to use pelo malo or bad hair to describe, our natural hair or any child's hair.
Sulma, thank you for sharing that because, I wish that I had this book growing up. We faced a lot of the connotations of having natural hair and not really being happy with it as little girls because of the way society kind of branded us with these names that are really hurtful. But that book and your book and the series means a lot. So without further ado, we have a new exciting production coming to BronxNet. Can you share more about D'Que Latino?
D'Que Latino is actually the video adaptation of the book. It's about pretty well-to-do Bronx family marketing executive, owner of an architectural firm that really sheds a positive light on the many colors of the Latino community. It really brings to life my path and my story as an author and all of those beautiful stories that I've learned through all the speaking engagement that I've had. So it encompasses the story of our Latino diaspora. So if I were to describe it, it's pretty much what the Huxtables did in the 1980s for the African American family. D'Que Latino is doing it through the Amigo family for the Latino community and all families as a whole. The characters are family based. It's a loving environment, and it's how todo comienza desde la casa, right? And how we bring it out to make our community a beautiful place and to make the changes that we want to see in the world. So D'Que Latino pretty much tells our story, and we as a team decided to own our own narrative, and that's what we created.
I love it. I got a sneak peek, and I'm not going to give too much away because you guys have to wait until September 15th for the premiere. But you are a proud Garifuna Afro-Latina, as we know, Sulma. How is your work influenced by your culture?
I think that this work wouldn't have come about if I wasn't a Garifuna woman. I think that being a Garifuna, being born in Honduras, being an immigrant, raised here in the South Bronx, I got to see the very dynamic and the beauty of all of our community. And I think that really shows in D'Que Latino. It shows how proud I am of every experience, how deeply rooted I am in my community, and how I value all the resources that I have available. We have my executive producer here, Meiling Toro. She came on, she believed in the project, and Meiling and I have been friends for years, but I knew that when this thing happens, I have to bring Meiling in. Sometimes the answer to make such beauty is also right in front of you. And it was. So I was able to utilize a lot of Bronx sites, Rena Valentine. Who's also a part of it. We were able to have Marilyn Camacho, Victor Cruz, Savannah Rose, which is a new actress in the scene. We also have we also have Alyssa Cheatham, who is now the voice of a Nickelodeon show premiering here in September. We have Jesus del Orden, the skater boy who just finished his run as Simba's the Lion King in Broadway. We have J.I. Star, director Louis Cruz. I mean, we have like the best of the best people who really believed in it. And more importantly, they saw themselves in this project. So they gave it their heart, and it was amazing. And Meiling will talk to you about how we made this happen.
Meiling, I actually wanted to ask, I learned that the production started through the pandemic. What challenges did you all face, if any, during the taping of the show?
Well, we were home for the first 2 weeks right after, I think, when we went all in around March 11th or 12th, where, the governor said everyone has to stay home on lockdown. And like a week later, Sulma saying, wait a minute, we have to do something. We can't just sit here and do nothing. And when she challenged us to say, hey, can we get a group together? Do you have a director that can do something like this? And I go, yes, as a matter of fact, I know a crazy person like myself that can take this on. His name is Luis Caballero. I introduced her to him. She loved him immediately. I think the whole team really enjoyed working with him because he's a hard worker, very experienced. I mean, he's definitely done everything from Hector Lavoe and La Lupe off Broadway with the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, and he has extensive film and theater background. So we brought him on board, and then from that, one of the challenges we had was finding Jenny, which is one of the main characters, and a lot of that was, casting for her became difficult during this time where people were just having difficulty even having a computer in their home, not having enough computer in their home, because as an actress, you might have a child, and so the child needed the computer to continue going to school. So just simple challenges like that became something in addition to our efforts, an additional challenge to our efforts to get this done. Wi-Fi, just a simple thought of having Wi-Fi in your home and not having the right speed so that we could look like we're all sunk up. Simple things like that. So, I mean, from casting, where we lost people that we thought we had casted at one point because they didn't have some of the elements that are needed for technology for this to happen, as you know well. And also just having the challenges of the day-to-day, getting 6-10 people on a Zoom all at once to be able to rehearse for 2 weeks. We rehearsed for 2.5 weeks, and then on the third week, we recorded for 1 as a dress rehearsal and 2 the final day of the full Zoom recording, where people memorized their lines, people were really prepared. The director was totally taken aback with the performances from all the actors.
And may I also say one thing to add to that really quickly, Meiling? So what you saw, Sanjay, was version 9. So you could just imagine all the rewrites that took place during this time. And Meiling mentioned the challenges. And one of the people that I didn't mention in the cast was Lola. Lola Fuentes, which is, you'll see, Jenny Amigo's best friend. And, her father passed away during this because of COVID, right? So it was very important to make sure that we honor Julia's father. Julia's her real name. Julia's father during this, and it was, and we gave her the option. Julia, you don't have to do this, and she said, no, I believe in this, and this is kind of my getaway and my escape. This is how I breathe from everything that I'm dealing with.
Yes. So, there were times that rehearsals weren't met by her simply because, she wanted to be on top of her father's case. So literally the week that we were recording, she lost her father, and that weekend we had to tape, and she taped it with, honoring her father and feeling like this is a legacy that she wants to leave behind during this time. and have him in mind during this time. So it was very challenging. Plus, you know, I think that Zoom at that time, we weren't all experts on it. You know, we all had not even appeared on Zoom yet. So this, you know, just knowing to be a narrator, I mean, I do a voice, then we brought on JI to do another voice, and the actors, and just combining all the elements of technology while performing, having two computers to make it happen, doing it at night so that hopefully it's silent and you don't have kids running around, a dog barking, or someone vacuuming and disconnecting your Wi-Fi. Like you said,
I love it. I think you all did an amazing job with all the circumstances, and I'm glad that it was a healing space as well to have this show go on for a lot of your cast. I wanted to learn also, Meiling, about the importance of representation and culture and how D'Que Latino will celebrate both of these things.
I think that we definitely are celebrating a lot of our sisters and heritage, you know, and fathers. Important, I had the same situation when I was little, you know, I was called, mira, quédate quieta, ese pelo malo, when they used to comb my hair every day, you know. So we're honoring our grandparents, we're honoring our parents that have Afro descent as a Latino family. We're also being very inclusive, and I think that it's time to take our story and our narrative into mainstream, and this is what this does. And I know, Sulma, you could take it on to even elaborate further, because this is there's a lot of passion for why this is so relevant with this time.
Right. No, absolutely, Meiling. You know, we wanted to be as inclusive as possible, and actually, we, you know, my spirit, right, as a darker skinned Afro Latina with coarser curly hair, it was challenging for me because we wanted the main character, played by Marilyn Camacho, to be a darker skinned Afro Latina, kind of representative of who I am and my daughters. And as we cast members that look like, you know, that look like her, it just didn't pan out properly. Whether the technology, the experience, they had to be able to carry this role within a 3-week period. And we finally got Jenny Amigo, and one night, entonces, you know, later on that night, I get a text that, you know, someone in her family got COVID and she couldn't do the role. So I said, at that point, I had to rely on my spiritual being, right? And I had to say, God, give me Jenny Amigo, and whoever comes, that's who I'm taking. And later that morning, I received a picture of Marilyn Camacho, and I'm like, you're kidding me, right, God? Right? So it's like, she's lighter skin. She doesn't have, she's everything the opposite of what our vision was for Jenny Amigo. So that opened up a really deep conversation between Marilyn and myself. We had to get Sister to Hermana together. And she expressed to me how she was even uncomfortable taking on this role because she spoke to a couple of her friends. And because she's a lighter skinned Afrodescendiente, her friends or the people she had around her basically said, you should not identify as an Afro-Latina because you're not dark enough, right? And when she told me the story of her grandparents, as a person who values ancestors and the older generation, I said, well, today we're gonna make your grandparents proud, because there's no way I'm gonna tell abuela and abuela that you're not Black enough to play this role. And it really, you know, it really became, a special connection between Marilyn and myself. So through this role, we are honoring all of our abuelas and all of our abuelos that came before us and had to pave the way for us. And that's how we got the role.
And these are the conversations, I have to say, that we can open up with this type of narrative and with this type of story. That, you know, there's a conversation now being had by Sulma and Marilyn, and these are this is what we hope that children will take away and families will take away.
Mm-hmm. And the goal is families stick together no matter what. You know, families cannot be responsible for the divide and conquer that we're gonna witness out there. So that was also very key to us.
Right. Thank you both for sharing the value of, you know, identity and having these discussions in our homes. And I hope that this show will open a lot of hearts and a lot of minds here in the Bronx and everywhere else, because the BronxNet is worldwide as well. We can watch it online. So, Link, I also wanted to ask, what do you hope people learn and take away from watching the show?
Thank you. And first off, kudos to our visionary, Sulma, and our esteemed producer, producer Meiling. What we hope for our viewers to take away is several things. Number one, a general rapport with the actors and actresses that play these roles. We'd like our viewers to take away the entertainment value of the piece, the educational value of the piece. And then from a more broader socioeconomic standpoint, the fact that this piece, we hope, will also be an educational tool for corporations that so impact our community. These are some of the things we hope fundamentally our viewers will take away.
And before we go, when is D'Que Latino premiering here on BronxNet, and where and how can we tune in?
All right, so it's going to be September 15th, and we have partnered with Edulution, which broadcasts on BronxNet, and we're also going to be simulcasting on MNN and Bricks from Brooklyn, who's also a partner of BronxNet, and BronxNet is definitely our media partner on this, and they will also be showcasing it through Facebook Live, where we will, where our audience will have the opportunity to engage with our actors and producers and voiceovers during that time. So we're super excited. Stay tuned. September 15th is going to be a key date for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you all. Sulma, before we go, where can people check out and purchase your books as well?
Absolutely. Very easy. Go to nopelomalo.com, which means no bad hair, nopelomalo.com, and definitely purchase it. You definitely want to see it, you know, have it in your hands as you're watching on September 15th. So nopelomalo.com. The link is there, and I look forward to seeing everyone holding up their books while we watch together.
Thank you all so much for your time today. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again,
Thank you.
Again, D'Que Latino will be premiering here at BronxNet on Tuesday, September 15th. You don't want to miss it. That's all for our show today. Thank you for tuning in to BXRx. I'm your host, Sonyi Lopez, wishing you and your family safety and wellness now and always.